What a fool is the fond wench. That Polly is most confoundedly bit. Well, I love the sex, but I could be as content with one woman as a man that loves money would be content with 1 guinea. The town have perhaps been much obliged to me for recruiting it with free-hearted ladies. As to any recruiting officer in the army, if not for me and for the other gentlemen of the sword, Drury Lane would have been uninhabited. If the heart of a man is depressed with cares, the mist is dispelled when a woman appears. Like the notes of a fiddle, she sweetly, sweetly raises our spirits and drowns our years. Roses and lilies her cheeks disclose, but her ripe lips are more sweet than those. Press her, caress her with blisses, her kisses dissolve us in pleasure and soft. I must have women. Nothing unbends the mind quite like they do. Money is not so strong a cordial for the time. Oh, I must get them in. Ladies! Ah, Dolly Crowther. You're welcome. You look charmingly today. Oh, kiss me, you slut. Are you as amorous as ever, hussy? You're generally so taken up with stealing hearts that you seldom find time to steal anything else. You are a coquette. Mrs. Vixen, I'm yours! Oh, I love a woman of wit and spirit. They make charming mistresses, but plaguey wives. And Betty Dodson. You still drink as hard as ever. You must take to some good wholesome beer, for in troth these strong waters will ruin your constitution. You had better leave them to your betters. What? That my pretty Jenny Diver too. As pure and as demure as ever. There was never a prude, though ever so high bred, with a more sanctified look and a more mischievous heart. You artful hypocrite, you hussy. And Mrs. Slammakin, as genteel and as careless as ever. And Molly Brazen! Oh, I love a free-hearted wench. And you have the most agreeable assurance, girl, and is as willing as a turtle. Wait, I hear music. It's the harper at the door. What can we get the dance? Why don't you come in? Play that lovely French tune that Mrs. Flammakin is so fond of. Without the colic. And Dolly Crowther, what about your experiences among your visits to the Mercers?
Well, there have been many interlopers, but with a bit of industry, there's still some pickings. Just last week, I got a bit of fine silver-coloured lutestring and a bit of a piece of black panasoy to Mrs. Peacham's lock-up.
Oh! And there's Polly Peacham. It's the oval of a rattlesnake. She
his eye so fast upon her that he was nicked of 3 pieces of cambric before he could look off.
Dear madam, but your nothing can come up to your handling of laces. And then you have such a sweet, deluding tongue. To cheat a man is nothing, but a woman must have fine parts indeed who cheats a woman.
Lace, madam, lies in a small compass and is of easy conveyance. But you are apt, madam, to think too well of your friends. If any woman hath more art than another, to be sure 'tis Jenny Diver. Be a fellow never so agreeable, but she can tick his pocket as coolly as though money were her only pleasure. Now that's a command of the passions uncommon in a woman.
I never go to the tavern with a man but in view of business. I have other hours and other sorts of men for my pleasure.
Have done with your compliments and drink about. Why, Jenny, you're not as fond of me as you used to be.
'Tis not convenient, sir, to show my kindness among so many rivals. 'Tis your own choice, and not the warmth of my inclination that will determine you. Before the bundle crowing, the cup by hens attended, his eyes around him throwing, stands for a while suspended.
Then one a singer from the blue and cheer the happy end. You know how to do, and how you do, and how you do again. We know how to do, and how to do, and how to do again.
Hey, thou art a dear slut.
Pray, madam, are you ever in keeping? I hope I haven't been so long upon the town that I haven't had some good fortune, as well as my neighbours. Oh, my pardon, madam. I meant no harm by the question. 'Twas only in the way of conversation. Indeed, madam, if I hadn't been a fool, I could have been very handsomely set up with my last friend. But upon him missing 5 guineas, he turned me off. No, I never expected he would have counted them. For my part, I like an old fellow, because we always make them pay for what they can't do. Yet, a spruce apprentice, let me tell you, ladies, is no ill thing. They bleed freely. I have sent 2 or 3 dozen of them in my time to the plantations.
But to be sure, sir, with so much good fortune as you've had upon the road, you must be grown immensely rich.
Well, the road indeed had done me justice. It's the gaming table that had been my ruin.
The gangsters and lawyers and jugglers alike, if they meddle, you're always in danger. The gangsters and lawyers and jugglers alike, if they meddle, you're always in danger. Like gypsies, if once they can finger a sales, your pockets they pick and they pilfer your house, and give your estates to a stranger. Like gypsies, if once they can finger a sales, your pockets they pick and they pilfer your house, and give your estates to a stranger. A man of courage should never put anything to risk but his life. These are the tools of men of honour. Cards and dice are only fit for cowardly cheats who prey upon their friends.
Captain, you are welcome. You've not been a lodger of mine this year and a half. You know the custom, sir. Garnish, Captain. Garnish. Hand me down those fetters there.
Those fetters, Mrs. Lockett, seem to be the heaviest of the whole set. With your leave, I might like the further pair better.
Look ye, Captain, we know what is fittest for our prisoners. When a gentleman uses me with civility, I always do the best I can to please him. Hand them down, I say. We have them of all prices, from 1 guinea to 10, and 'tis fitting every gentleman should please himself.
The fees here are so many and so exorbitant that what few fortunes can bear the expense of getting off handsomely or of dying like a gentleman.
Well, perhaps, sir, these will fit the captain better. Oh, do but
examine them, sir. Never was better work. Oh, how genteelly they are made. They will fit as easily as a glove, and the nicest man in England might not be ashamed to wear them. If I had the best man in the land in my custody, I could not equip him more handsomely. And so, sir, I now leave you to your private meditations.
Man may escape from rope and gun, they some have outlived the doctor's pill. The taste of woman must be undone, that basilisk is sure to kill. The fly that sips treacle is lost in the sweet silk that tastes woman, woman. He that tastes woman, ruin me. To what a woeful plight have I brought myself. Here must I, all day long until I am hanged, be confined to hear the reproaches of a wench who lays a ruin at my door. I am in the custody of a mother, and to know if she's aware of the matter, I have fine time between now and the execution. But I promised that wench marriage. Now, what signifies a promise to a woman? Does not a man in marriage itself promise 1,000 things that he never means to perform? Do all we can. Women will believe us, for they look upon and promise as an excuse to follow their own inclinations. Oh, but there comes Lucy, and I cannot get from her. I wish I were deaf.
You base man, you! How can you look me in the face after what has passed between us? See here, perfidious wretch, how I am forced to bear about the load of infamy you've laid upon me. Oh, McKeith, thou hast robbed me of my quiet. To see thee tortured would give me pleasure. Thus, when a good housewife seeth our rats in the trap in the morning taken, with pleasure her heart goes pit-a-pat in revenge for a loss of bacon. So she throws him to the gobble cat to be worried, lost, and shaken. So she throws him to the doggle cat to be worried, lost, and shaken.
Have you no bowels, no tenderness, my dear Lucy, to see a husband in these circumstances?
A husband?
Well, in every respect but the form, and that may shed over us at any time. Well, friends should not insist upon ceremonies from a man of honour. His word is as good as his bond.
'Tis the pleasure of all you fine men to insult the women you have ruined.
Well, at the first opportunity, my dear, I'll make you my wife in whatever manner you please.
You stinking, lying rat! So you think I know nothing of the affair of Miss Polly Peacham? I could tear thy eyes out.
Surely, Lucy, you can't be so foolish as to be jealous of Polly.
Are you not married to her, you brute you?
Married? The wench only gives it out to vex thee, and to ruin me in thy good opinion. Well, it is true, I go to her house, I chat to the girl, I kiss her. I say 1,000 things to her, as all men do in order to divert myself, but they mean nothing. And now that silly jade has set it about that I'm married to her to let me know what she would be at. Oh, Lucy, these violent passions are of ill consequence to a woman in your condition.
Come, come, Captain. For all your assurance, you know Miss Polly has put it out of your power to do me the justice you promised me.
Well, a jealous woman believes anything a passion suggests. In order to convince you of my sincerity, if we can find the chaplain, I shall have no scruples in making you my wife now. And I know the consequence of having two at a time.
Only that you are to be hanged, and so get rid of them both.
Well, I'm ready to give you satisfaction if you think there is any in marriage. But what more can a man of honour say?
So it seems you are not married to Miss Polly?
No, the girl is prodigiously conceited. No man can say a civil thing to her, but her vanity makes her think he's her own forever and ever. You know, when women consider their own beauties, they're all alike, unreasonable in their demands, for they expect that their lovers will love them for as long as they like themselves.
Well, yonder is my mother. Perhaps this way we may light upon a chaplain who shall try if you will be as good as your word, for I long to be made an honest woman.